You know what I was like during my glory days, do you?
Let me change my background. It's important. Welcome back to another episode of podcast formerly known as Tapped In. I'm your host, Dark Matter Daddy, the Dark One, Mr. Satan himself. We here. Mark has got his wine per usual, you know.
Sake.
Mark has got his sake per usual. You know how he do it out here. Alex living lavish, Davon also living lavish, and we got a guest with us. You might recognize this nigga from a previous episode, and if you don't, go back and watch that episode before you watch this one.
Dang.
And if you're not watching this on YouTube, you don't even know what I'm talking about. But we have a we have
Nice,
Yeah.
Eric. Yeah.
Eric, how you gonna come at
forgot
our audience like that, man?
forgot this was an audio medium for a second. But we got X Dub here again, Xavier Williams, live from
Xavier
his
Williams.
crib. What's
Yes,
up, X?
sir.
What's good? What's good?
Hey, man, what's up, Eggs?
It's popping.
Yeah,
We got a lot to talk about today.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
Let's get to
yeah.
it.
We do got a lot
Yeah,
to
let's
talk
get
about.
to
Yeah.
it, man.
Let's get straight to it.
Hey, all right then, y'all.
All right, then.
That's the
pod.
What is we talking about today, Alex?
What
Fill
was
us
the
in,
first
brother.
thing? What were
The first topic was either Kanye or the NFL vaccine policy, whichever y'all want to talk about.
Oh my God.
We can talk about Kanye or
You
the
wanna-
policy first because that'll be quick. I
Let's,
think.
let's,
Or you want to
what?
talk about Kanye
Let's
first?
talk about
Let's-
Kanye first.
Oh, okay.
cool.
cool.
Fill us
That
in.
nigga Flake.
So that album still ain't out.
The album is Donda. Was
Bro,
supposed to drop by.
Did you see when it was? They were there from 5, and I think
That's
he
just
didn't
crazy.
go on for like 3 or 4 hours
That nigga
before
was
he got on.
Was he like sleep in the like?
He
the
was
background?
asleep.
That nigga was asleep. That shit was
How could it
funny
have
as
gone-
fuck. Did any of y'all watch the live stream of the album?
Yeah, I did.
I did too.
Dude, why
I
is my
didn't.
connection so fucking bad?
Why did y'all watch that?
It was free. I mean, I just something to watch. I was curious about what the album was gonna sound like.
Yeah, I was
Nice.
too. And
Damn, y'all
visually,
believe?
I mean, he actually
Well-
played it. I didn't think it was gonna come out because it sounded unfinished, even when he was playing
Yeah.
it. But I mean,
I didn't really like it.
Damn. You
Hey,
didn't
that
like
song-
the album?
that song he had with Baby Keem and Travis Scott sounds hard as fuck though. I don't know if you heard
That-
that one.
That's the only one that I do like, but it seems really short.
Yeah.
But you know, he's still on his God shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
This
really?
trash shit.
Pretty heavily actually. Like
yeah.
more than like, you know, it's not like what is it? Jesus is the
Jesus
king. But so it's not like that level, but it's more like a, you know, kind of a chance level of
Yeah, that's a
God stuff.
weird comparison.
Lame.
The features were interesting. Because he had
Features
like
were all over the place.
he had like a Pusha T feature, I think. I didn't hear West Side Gun, but I might have missed that. But he also had a Jay-Z feature, which was like the very last song he had a Jay-Z feature. So that was pretty
Yeah, I heard he had a J feature.
yeah.
But it was
his-
like
Everybody was
an
going
eight,
nuts
it was
on
like
Twitter
an
about
8
that.
bar though.
yeah, he didn't like it was a weird verse.
It was super short.
And apparently Jay-Z recorded that verse like 6 hours prior to him like playing the album. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know how that shit worked exactly.
So that shit about to drop next month.
Yeah, I don't think he's done with it, man. I
just-
remember seeing tweets.
Why does he keep
About-
doing that?
It's just kind of his style. He just likes.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he I forgot one of the whatever major him and Mike Dean they were working on it kind of right up until the show itself.
Yeah.
And the show itself wasn't as visually striking as I would have hoped.
No, not at all.
Like I get that he does his minimal shit, but it was even more
It was like
it was-
the
the whole
I
arena
like-
was empty, and then there's a projection, and
Of just
then
him standing there in all red.
literally Kanye would just kind of walk around. Sometimes
like-
he would dance and trip up, and
He'll
then
sit and like pose for a little bit, and like I honestly, when I was even watching it, I had it like playing on my speaker and just had the music playing in the background because I wasn't really that interested in the actual visuals. But
yeah, well,
That sounds
yeah,
really weak, not gonna lie.
the first 5 minutes I watched, and then same, like I had it on in the background, and I would every time I would kind of like go back to it, it was like,
yeah,
all right, he's not doing shit.
I ain't
Yeah.
watching none of that shit.
I mean, you didn't miss
I heard
much.
he had a Dirk feature.
He did have a Dirk. Yeah, he had a Dirk feature on there too. So I mean, that is what it is.
I only watched it because we were probably gonna talk about it on the pod. I still don't fuck with Kanye like that.
Nah.
And listening to his album, it gives me more of a reason not to fuck with him.
I mean, I feel you because I mean, Kanye still
He's
can't
still on the
rap.
shit list, man.
Yeah, he's on the shit list for sure, and he
I don't-
he can't rap to save his life.
I just don't think he's trying to.
Yeah,
I
It's-
heard the only part I heard of it was the one with Jay-Z, and I didn't like it. I didn't
It
think it
wasn't-
was good.
it wasn't.
The beat wasn't even hard.
I didn't like that beat, but I will say the production overall on the album I was fucking with. Like, there's some pretty interesting beats on the album.
I did miss the
but-
live stream. I wasn't able to listen to the whole thing, but just from what I've heard, like through like little snippets on Twitter, and that song that I did hear, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it that hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wasn't either. And also, I'll probably have to listen to it in a non-stadium setting. Like I had
Yeah.
these headphones on because I wanted to be like have like the best sound experience, and it still didn't sound like
no,
the sound quality was even all
like
that. From
some of like the
stream.
vocals sounded super rough. Like maybe he needed
Yeah.
like some auto tune or like more engineering. Like you can tell he was definitely still working on the album when he was playing it in the stadium. Like it sounded so unfinished. Some of the tracks sounded cool, but some of them sound like unmastered. Like some of the he had like a Pop Smoke feature, but I felt like it was just like a piano, and I feel like the beat was just
Well,
like lacking.
he did the Pop Smoke feature like he did the Designer feature. Like
Yeah. Oh,
that's a Pop Smoke song.
oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean?
I didn't
And
know
so
that.
he just sort of chopped up the Pop Smoke song, and then
Is it from the Pop Smoke album?
so
I don't
he did some production on the Pop Smoke album, and I don't know if the song that he did was off that. I'd have to go back and listen to it, but I was like, oh, I've heard this from Pop Smoke before. So
yeah, it probably wasn't.
yeah.
What do you-
know,
what-
That's just what he does, you know.
What do y'all think about him doing that? Literally taking a song and then like just making it his own song, and then making the person who made the song a feature on it.
I think, well, he was also a feature on Pop Smoke's new album. So
Uh-huh.
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying. Yeah.
I think that was probably like a trade.
Yeah.
Like literally, I think they handed Kanye some stuff to work with of Pop Smokes, and they're like, do what you can, and then use whatever. We'll put one song on the album, and then you can use one song. Or I think that was sort of. It seemed like that was the deal that was struck. That would make the most sense to me.
Yeah. And
No,
to your-
it wasn't disrespectful to Pop Smoke at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't have an issue with it. I mean, kind of like when he did it with Life of Pablo and Designer. Like I didn't even hear
Right.
the previous version of the song. So when Kanye hopped on, I was like, "Oh, this is dope." And then now that I know this like actual Pop Smoke song, so I'll probably go back and listen to the Pop Smoke version of it just to hear like the original version. But I didn't have an issue with that or him hopping on that song like that or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, fuck Kanye.
Oh, also fuck Justin LeBoy.
I still don't know who that is.
Me either.
I feel like
Alex has a beef with Justin LeBoy.
Bro, he has the most annoying Instagram posts. It's like all toxic relationship shit. And
yeah,
everybody just like reposts that shit all the fucking time. Like it's so funny. And
and the Migos don't fuck with them.
yeah, they jumped that nigga, allegedly.
Yeah,
Um,
allegedly. Oh shit.
But yeah, fuck Justin LeBoy.
Well,
Well,
that's
you
why I
know he
don't
has
get-
his
that's
own
what-
show on Revolt.
That's why he's so popular.
That's why I don't get on Instagram. That's just stupid.
He's on Twitter too.
I'll never see him on Twitter. I never heard of him until you said
Never
his name
heard.
last pod.
Good.
Alex,
Did-
you tapped.
Did he
you
give him his own
tapped
show
in.
on Revolt?
Yeah, he do got his own show. I mean, he has a following for sure, but I personally don't like his
Is he
content.
white?
That was a black
Nah.
dude.
Mm-mm.
He's a bit of a problem. I literally only know of him because of Joe Budden. Joe Budden and Justin LeBoy are homies. And Joe
Alex
Budden
is gonna
called him
fight
on
him.
the podcast one time.
Alex, we about to set up a celebrity fight, a
He's
celebrity
a big ass
boxing
dude.
match.
I don't know if I want to fight him.
I don't know, man.
He looks like he's 6'4". Like there's a picture of him and Diddy, and he's like hovering over Diddy. I was like, I don't know how tall Diddy is, but like this nigga's huge. Like the fuck.
I feel like Diddy's short, but yeah, if he got 6'4" vibes, I wouldn't fuck with him neither. He
Who
got
the
that
fuck
reach.
talking money?
Yeah.
It's P Diddy.
Diddy's 5'10", so Justin Boy has to be at least like 6'3" or 6'4".
Hey, y'all listen on the other end of the Kanye spectrum. You listen to the produced song that he did for Lil Nas.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
The one he just dropped.
Industry Plant,
Yeah.
I think it's called.
Industry.
What is it?
Industry
Industry-
something.
Industry
Is it
Plant?
industry plant?
Hold on, I got
I
it
think
right
that's
here.
what
Oh,
it's
it was
called.
called like Industry Baby, something like
Industry
that.
Baby, Industry Baby.
It seemed like regular Lil Nas X shit. It's cool.
That
I've
shit
never
hard.
heard of Lil
That
Nas
shit
X song in my
slap.
life.
Is it really
He's
that
still,
good?
he's still.
I didn't
he-
listen to it.
It's cool.
I fuck with Lil Nas.
He's good at
Lil
making-
Nas, yeah, he's good at making singles. I don't
He's
like.
good at
I like-
making singles and catchy ass music.
That's what his
I-
shit is.
I like his social media presence. I don't really fuck with his music.
And
all
he's
that,
hilarious.
so fucking
but
funny.
I
He's
love his
hilarious.
Twitter. He's always trolling like politicians or just like random people. That, like,
He's
He
literally
literally
just
trolls
he trolls
everybody.
everyone.
I like
Yeah.
that.
My most recent favorite tweet of him that I saw was him tweeting at Vince. No, Vince Staples was tweeting at
Oh
him.
yeah.
And he was like, "Hey man, what's up? When we gonna ball?" And he was like, only play with one kind of balls." And Vince was like,
He's like,
"It's
in the
8 a.m."
morning. That shit was funny as fuck.
Bro,
Shout out to Vince too, though. Vince
Shout
is
out
fucking
to
yeah,
dope.
Vince
shout out to
Staples.
both of them.
That nigga's
they both
Vince
got
Staples
good.
is hilarious too.
They're both funny online. Did
Hell
y'all
yeah.
watch the prelude to this Industry Baby?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
That shit,
Man,
it's like it's like
I
a
don't
skit
know
of Lil-
anything about Lil Nas X.
I saw the video
Yeah.
too. The video's out.
the video is funny, but the prelude is fucking hilarious because he's on his Eddie Murphy shit. He plays half of the people in the room, and he's a good actor, man. Like,
Also,
hey man, what's your name? Lil Nas, Lil Nash.
kind of in the same realm. Did y'all see that little Tyler the Creator video for the Converse? Like,
Yeah, that
sneaker?
shit was
He posted-
hard.
That shit was funny. Vince
I
was
didn't.
in it too.
I didn't
It's-
watch that. I kept
That was
seeing
like
it,
an
but I didn't
all-star
watch it.
cast.
Yeah.
The black dude that was getting kicked out for wearing the fucking hat.
Dude, yeah.
That's like
Who-
that's a big actor. He's in a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I know who he is. I just couldn't think of his name, but I've definitely seen him in a bunch of
I don't
shit.
think I've ever known his name, but just like in passing, Tyler's fucking hilarious always.
For sure.
And that Converse commercial it was like an all-star cast almost.
Mhm.
All of the different Converse crews and shit.
Right.
Fucking
Mhm.
Jasper was in it, the main guy, Vince Staples. Yeah, that shit was funny. Tyler would be on point, man.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna have to
Tyler
go and watch
aesthetics.
that.
Yeah, it's funny. Alex put it on his story either today or yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
oh, you think I watch Alex's stories?
I think
Alright.
he just tweeted it.
What'd you say, Eric?
Please.
Get him, Alex.
Oh, in this
Get 'em.
podcast right now.
Ooh.
You know what I'm about to do?
Yeah.
Hey, try it.
Oh.
Hey, now I'm out of place.
God
I'm
damn
out
it,
of place
dude.
now. What you gonna do about that? Put me
You
back. I'm
motherfucker.
gonna move right back again.
You
Go
got
ahead
him,
and
Alex.
fix it.
I'm about to
got
turn
him.
this shit off.
Alex,
I'm-
you got him, dude. Oh shit. Eric, how you
You
feel right now? man?
motherfucker. I'm pissed. I'm thugged out and pissed off.
Are you? Because I can
Very.
keep going.
You said you looking for thug love?
Nah. I'm just thugged out. and
Yeah,
pissed
don't
off.
do that.
Yeah, Eric.
Is that Boondocks, that song?
He does.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
thug in love,
Yeah.
yo.
Boondocks had bangers though.
They really
Yo,
did.
Boondocks
God.
had all. That's
Talk
because they had
about
like
an
Busta
all-star
Rhymes,
cast.
Snoop Dogg, and Mos Def making
Lethal
like
in the
random.
Jackson versus
Bro,
what?
what?
Nigga.
Oh,
Murphy
nigga,
that shit.
you
phone
picked up
down,
my phone.
Jackson
Now
on
my
the
fingers on
trigger.
the. Snitching ain't the thing to do. So now me and my
So
crew
now
gonna
me
show
and
the
my
block
crew
how to
gonna show
handle
the
Shout out to
block
Ed
how
and
to
Rummy.
handle this fool.
Shout out to Ed and Rummy.
this.
Hey,
Best
R.I.P.
duo.
Charlie
Hey.
Murphy.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Charlie Murphy.
man.
Dude.
Hey, did y'all hear that there's supposed to
Oh,
be a
it's
new
that dude from Black
Boondocks?
Dynamite.
Who?
What?
What you mean?
The
what
black
from-
dude in that Converse video is the dude from not Black Dynamite. I meant from Dewey Cox. Walk Hard, a Dewey Cox story.
Oh, the Dewey Cox
The
story.
dude that
Yeah.
was like, yeah, the dude that was like, you don't want to do this. It's cocaine. He was like, what does cocaine do?
He's like,
"It
trust
makes
me,
all your
it'll make
bad
you feel
problems turn
really
into good
good."
problems.
He's like, well, does it make my dick lift? He's like,
It
no.
was fucking
You'll
hilarious.
want to fuck for hours. But yeah, did y'all hear that there was a
That
new
movie is
Boondocks? There's
underrated.
supposed
That
to be a
movie's
new
fucking
Boondocks.
Yeah,
hilarious.
that Aaron McGruder's supposed to like be a part of. So
Yeah.
I did hear about that.
I-
That's all I
I
heard.
don't- I don't know
I
if it's gonna
mean,
happen,
two of the
man.
characters passed away though.
Yeah, Pops.
R.I.P. John Witherspoon too.
John
Oh,
Witherspoon,
shit.
Charlie
John
Murphy,
Witherspoon.
R.I.P. Pops, man.
Pops
R.I.P.
passed away.
Pops.
Yeah. If y'all on Instagram, it's called Boondocks Bootleg. And Aaron, I don't know what sort of like deal Aaron McGruder has with this artist, but on the Boondocks Bootleg on Instagram, they post a lot of like new shit from the Boondocks. And I don't know if it's like production pictures or what, but they post new art from the Boondocks pretty frequently. And like Carl Jones is still associated with the Boondocks, and he's one of the OGs from the actual, like the original Boondocks show. I don't know when it's gonna come. I don't know when it's coming, but it seems like something's happening with Boondocks content.
Oh shit, nigga. Something about
We'll
to
s-
happen.
We'll see. It takes forever to
Yes.
do anything.
Yeah. It'll be an interesting yeah, we'll see. I mean, they really fucked it last time.
That last season, I don't think I
Yeah.
even watched the last season because
It fucking sucked.
because Aaron McGruder wasn't even attached to that.
He wasn't he wasn't a part of it.
And you could certainly tell because the shit was horrible. It was so bad. I don't know how they fucked
Yeah.
it up so bad.
It's literally they took off the creator of the show.
right? And then all his humor, all his writing, it just was super lackluster. So
I feel like,
Bad.
yeah, man, like you can't take an IP from the creator and expect it to do well, especially since Aaron McGruder was making Boondocks way before the show even existed. You know,
yeah, 'cause it's a comic book, right?
there's a comic strip, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, just from the jump, that man was ingrained in the very DNA of the Boondocks.
Y'all ever watch Black Jesus? That's another Aaron McGruder show.
Yeah,
I watched
That
some
show
of
that
is
it.
shit-
fucking funny.
that shit was funny.
I love that show. I actually really love that show. Again,
I'm surprised it
RIP
only
Charlie
got
Murphy.
one season.
I am too. I thought it was
I thought it
thought
was
it-
more than
Maybe it is. Maybe it is too. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I want to say that there was two, but it still
It
seemed like
had
it was
3
on for.
seasons.
Damn.
It's 3
Well,
seasons.
I didn't watch
Yeah.
it for shit.
yeah. It's 3 seasons.
I think
I
yeah,
might
I
have
only
watched
watched, like,
one
first-
season.
Yeah, me too. If I don't think I haven't finished that. So
I watched every episode. I really like Slink Johnson. That nigga's hilarious.
He's fucking funny, man.
That dude is so funny, dude.
Because didn't he play? He played in the Black Dynamite animated show or something. Or
No.
who else did he play?
I don't think so.
He was somebody on Grand Theft Auto.
He was the homie from Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
was,
he played the
Lamar,
yeah.
right?
oh, it's the same dude.
With
Yeah.
your yee
Yeah.
haircut. Yeah.
yeah
That nigga.
yee ass haircut. That nigga's so
Nigga.
funny, dude. Oh god, that nigga cracks me up.
Nigga.
Yo.
Nigga.
Did y'all see the resurgence of that? Like
He was also in
meme?
this old YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Oh
they-
my god.
Resurgence of that
Yes.
shit.
It kept,
Fucking
well, it
hell,
kept
dude.
getting like
Yama was
crazier.
eating that shit up.
Yo, that shit was because then it was like a bus that was saying it or some shit. They like got
that shit was
crazier.
so
Yeah.
fucking funny,
What the
dude.
fuck? They had one where Bayonetta was saying it.
Oh my god.
That's fucking hilarious. Yo, internet's undefeated, man.
Yeah, I agree. Shit's hilarious. Always funny.
Did y'all want to talk
Y'all
about
want
the
to
NFL?
y'all want to touch on the NFL thing?
Yeah, go
Alex,
for
you
it.
want to fill us in on what it is?
Yeah, so the NFL, because the season's getting ready to start in I think like 2 months or something like that. They recently updated their like COVID guidelines and what they're requiring for teams going forward. So the biggest thing that I saw from that is pretty much they want every NFL team to have at least 85% of their team, just talking about the players, vaccinated before the season starts. And they want all of their coaching staff, like no matter what, to be vaccinated, period. So they're saying if there's a situation where like an unvaccinated player causes a delay in the game, then both teams will have to forfeit. I think they'll like that. I think the team that caused it has to forfeit the game, and then neither team gets paid for that game that they forfeited. And then the team that caused both of them have to both the teams to forfeit has to pay the financial responsibility of the other team going forward.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, so they're
That's
not
crazy
playing.
as fuck.
So they're pretty much saying like if you aren't vaccinated and you cause this to get forfeited, then you're fucked essentially. So yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, I know there's been a lot of
How y'all feel
backlash.
about that?
Look,
I don't have a
They're
problem
not playing
with it.
around.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
I agree, X.
if I don't think, I mean, I think only Davon and maybe X actually watches football. But if you watched it last season, it fucking sucked with all the like the rescheduling of the games and shit like
The
that.
rescheduling of the games.
Because then you would have
and, like the
situations-
delay of the games and stuff.
Yeah, you have situations where like half the team has COVID, so then you have to reschedule the game like later in the week or whatever, so then they don't get a bye week. Or you'll have like key players out. You'll have like the receiver, the quarterback, so then you have like the third string quarterback trying to play, and it just kind of sucks, you know.
Or the Broncos who didn't even have one available.
Yeah, the Broncos like
Didn't
I
have
think
a
all three of
quarterback
the
available.
quarterbacks were like on the COVID list or hurt, so they had their punter play quarterback, and of course they got smacked that
I
game.
think it was their
You know the
receiver.
vibes?
one of
Yeah.
them.
Their receiver. It was their receiver.
So I don't have an issue with it, but some of the players do, and there's already been 2 coaches that recently got fired because they are refusing to get the vaccine. I think a coach from Vikings and a coach from the Patriots. I think like they're not like big coaches or anything like that, but they already lost their job. And then like I've seen like DeAndre Hopkins, like a receiver, he's like one of the best receivers in the league. He came out and like spoke out against it, and then Jalen Ramsey, a really good cornerback, spoke out against it as well. So it'll be
I
interesting.
don't mind it, I guess. I don't
I
want
don't
to see
mind it
them
either.
canceled. I don't need my
Bro,
Raven getting the outbreak and forfeiting games and shit.
Bro, the Raiders got hit hard with
Exactly.
that shit. It seemed like every other game, somebody from the Raiders was like out on COVID protocol, and it was fucking annoying. So like,
Yeah.
Yo, everybody needs to be vaccinated anyways. That's
point blank period.
that's my shit. Is
Then I mean, if they had to go to school, they had to be vaccinated. So they had vaccines before. There's really no difference between this one.
I keep seeing this argument on Twitter. Is like you'll willingly sign up to like go head first and like crash and get all this fucking brain damage and shit playing football, but
yeah,
you're scared to get the fucking vaccine.
But
like
you're scared to get a vaccine.
Yeah, no, I keep
Yeah, I've
seeing
seen
bro.
that too.
CTE will kill him before the vaccine does.
exactly.
Like 10 times out of 10.
Fucking football.
It's crazy, man, because I saw one of the dudes a week ago, actually. One of the crazy politician ladies up on Capitol Hill was like, the reporters asked her if she got a vaccine, and she says, you can't ask me that. That's a HIPAA violation.
That's
Oh,
HIPAA. Yeah.
And then
that was
what
the
was
quarterback.
Yeah.
no, this
Who
was
said
this was a woman a week ago, and then today
Yeah.
a quarterback
Oh,
said
they
the same thing.
Yeah. Zeke just
See, what's going on that everybody thinks that asking that's a
Dak
HIPAA
Prescott
violation?
just said that shit today.
Yeah,
Dak said that.
Yeah.
like
Dak
word
Prescott
for
said that
word,
today.
man. Like I don't understand like
Bro.
what is going on with these anti-vax circles, but
They just
This shit is-
regurgitate the
this
same
shit is re-
excuses.
they literally word for word, him and that senator last week, I think it was like Amy Coney Barrett or whatever her name is. I think it was her that said it. It's fucking nuts. And the problem is we don't even have we have a little less than half of all Americans that are vaccinated right now. And the Delta variant is like sweeping through us. And honestly, we have it good in the US. Like, even just having half is like
better than most countries.
I can go out and I don't need a mask right now. I mean, you know, that's to a certain extent, but like in other countries, like all my homies in Brazil, you still have to mask up. Homies in Peru got to mask up. You know what I mean? Because places are still getting swept.
Oh no, and that's what I'm saying. Again, because I'm going to Cali next week, and I think they have a mask mandate already.
Yeah, they do.
Variant. So I mean, we're
son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I'm going to Louisiana tomorrow, and I got the email confirmation for my Airbnb, and they were like, "Yo, just a heads up, you need to have a mask to get into the building, and this, that, and the other." And I'm just like, yeah. I mean, this is the reality that we're in. You know, even with like us being vaxxed, there's still such a large percentage of the population that is not vaxxed up. You not vaxxed?
Nigga, I ain't getting that poison in my system. I ain't trying to get microchipped. The fuck?
Oh my god.
What do I look like?
Eric, you only lying to the pod. I know the truth.
Yeah.
If they wanted to track people, they just use their fucking cell phone.
They're trying to track me.
If they want to track us, they can use their fucking phone.
That's much easier.
They trying to track me and get my DNA.
Bro, I just tweeted last week that I just talk about stuff that I want openly in front of my phone.
And then that shit
just so I can get the targeted ads.
It'll happen.
Bro,
he said just so I can get the targeted ads.
Fail, man. Without fail.
That's just real.
I had my phone in my hand. I was talking to my girl, and I was like, "Yo, I really need a short sleeve collar T-shirt." And then like 24 hours later, I was getting all sorts of shit for all these fucking clothing companies on Instagram, and I was like, "Bet, you know, save me the trouble of looking shit up." You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Directly into your microphone, very clearly.
Bro, and I didn't even have anything open. Like, probably just talking about it on the pod, I'll get even more fucking notifications.
Dude, I'm probably gonna see that shit now because of you.
Yeah. I've been
shirts.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I heard you like shirts, nigga.
Hey, iPhone, find me a baddie for me, please.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
About to get that milks in your area.
Milks in your area.
There's hot milfs that want to fuck me right now.
Ready to fuck.
Oh my god.
Hot BBWs right around the corner.
Oh my god!
No, not
in your area,
not the
6 mile radius.
No, but that's real. That's real shit, man. And yeah, the chipping is so funny because everybody's like, "Oh, I don't want to get chipped. This goes against my constitutional right." I don't know anyone. I don't know any country where it's your constitutional right to literally spread a pandemic and kill a portion of the population, man. Like, this is ridiculous.
Okay, see, honestly, that's where it gets tough for me because I feel like it can't be mandatory for everybody to get the vaccine. I feel like that's where it becomes a little problematic. Because
why not?
Because I mean, if
we get shots, get shots in to go to school. Like, your kids have to get shots.
I know, it's just.
Don't you have to get certain shots to go out the country too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
They wouldn't let me out. They wouldn't let me out in Colombia the second time I went because I lost my yellow fever card.
Oh, Colombia.
You know what I mean? Like that.
You got yellow fever in Colombia?
No, you can go to Colombia from the US without a yellow fever card, but I was coming from Brazil trying to get back into Colombia and I missed and I didn't have it.
Damn, bro, you okay?
They just thought you was losing weight.
Man, bro, I came back with the one mustache, you know.
Oh my god,
like no facial hair.
Oh my god,
I look straight up like a narco, man. I get searched every time I come back, you know, because I come out, I'm glowed up. I'm coming from South America. yeah, I say hola, buenos dias, and they be like, yo, step to the side.
Buenos
And every
dias.
time I gotta turn over my
Buen dia.
You just gotta bribe them, bro. Like slip them 100, and they'll let you right through.
I'm talking about back into the U.S.
Como
Every
te
time I
llamas?
come back into the U.S., they
Oh, okay.
always think that I'm pushing weight, like without fail. Bro, I try to switch it up too. So like when I came back from Brazil the first time, I like try to keep my head down, and they're like step to the side. Hey, the nigger over there, step to the side. And I was like, oh fuck. And so
Random search.
when I came back from the second time, I was like, all right, I'm gonna play it cool. And I was like, hey, good morning. And they're like, step to the side. Not even a good morning back, man. They're just like, yo, this motherfucker, go over there.
We've seen you before.
Buenos dias.
It's like, man, I could have sworn you was on the FBI list. So yeah, that is way off topic. But go ahead, Eric. What you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, I don't know. It just seems. Never mind. I feel like I'm getting into right-wing conspiracy theorist territory.
Well, let's talk about it.
I rescind my comment.
Nah, man, because now you've said even more.
Yeah, like
now you can't resend that shit.
speak on it.
I'm changing my mind actively.
I hadn't
thought about. I hadn't really thought about it.
So
hey,
you do think everybody should get vaccinated?
Me?
Yeah, you do think.
I think everybody should. Yeah. No, I think everybody should get vaccinated.
It should be people's choice. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's pretty much what I'm saying.
I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong in thinking that, though.
I feel like it's a little, I don't know. It just seems a little crazy. I know it makes sense. It just seems a little crazy, and it seems like, I don't know. I guess where my mind is going is straight into a slippery slope fallacy, where I'm like, okay, well, they can force us to take this vaccine, then what's to stop somebody who's, maybe a little more problematic and in control to force us to take something else? You know what I mean?
I mean, they literally already force you to take shots when you're in elementary. And obviously,
I know that. I'm saying
we've seen in our lifetime the amount of pushback just for a COVID vaccine that we know is for this specific purpose. I think it would be very, very hard for anyone with like an ulterior motive to try and pass legislation that requires everyone to get a different type of vaccine. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe now, but it certainly happened before.
Oh,
with like the Tuskegee
okay.
syphilis experiment. That's
you're
the
part
shit
of,
that
you're
like,
part of that black population. I got you. Then I'll say this to you. One of the main doctors on the Pfizer board, like she helped like research and do all this. She's an epidemiologist.
I'm pretty sure it was a black woman, right?
She's a black woman. She has a Twitter. She's
Shout out to black women.
I can't remember her name, but I can send you her Twitter, and she's super transparent when it comes to this, because she's sort of like my go-to when I do meet like another black person and they're like, yo, Tuskegee, and I get it, like the syphilis experiments, that shit was horrible. Yeah. I say to them that this is a different time. We have more black people in medicine than ever before, right? And on top of all that, the lady from Pfizer is a black woman who has done this. The Tuskegee experiment, for one, was done in an age where we didn't have social media. And it was also a very small, controlled community of black people in the South. You know what I mean? Like that shit cannot fly at any level without anyone knowing in this day and age. You know what I mean?
Definitely get exposed.
For sure.
Absolute. Right. And there'd be a big uproar, you know?
Don't get me wrong. This is actually, no, wait, something like that recently happened, but I don't think it was in the US. I think it was, I don't want to get this wrong, but there was something where this group of women, like I'm pretty sure it was like minority women, they were getting like hysterectomies or something like that.
that's just
So you were talking about
that's
women in prison. I feel like
Was
that's
it
just
in prison?
that's a shitty thing that they do all over the world. This goes
No,
into women's
this
rights
was more specific. This was more specific.
in the U.S.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to look. I don't think it was in the U.S. I'm gonna have to look into this more
Yeah.
because I
And
can't
then
remember. But it was something like that. But also, let me say, don't get me wrong. I'm not against the vaccine at all. Like I have the vaccine.
Right.
I have all four coursing through my
right.
veins. I'm trying to turn into Captain Planet by collecting all the vaccines.
Hey, but also
but
going
no,
off
for real.
kind of what you said too, the syphilis experiments for the black people that think that way. I
Mhm.
think they have a valid reason to think that way anyway too, though. But
Yeah.
also, besides that, there's stuff that other black people had to go through with in the medical stuff, like
Yeah.
just women getting treated lesser than during
Specifically
pregnancy.
black
Yeah.
women.
Or
I was
like,
gonna say
like
black
the
women are like
death
10
rate.
times
Black
more
women.
likely to die in childbirth than
Yeah.
white women. Or
and then
something
there's like
that.
situations where like the doctors, like black women will say like they're having certain symptoms, and the doctor's like, "Oh, you're not experiencing that," and like kind of like discredit them, and that leads to like a bunch of
Right.
shit like that.
Another
So,
one.
So,
Another one is I don't know if y'all heard about this. God, I really got to get my like facts straight about these things
No,
because they're
Eric.
just
So
coming up on the
the
fly. But
hysterectomies,
there's
they
this
were
thing.
forcing immigrant women coming into the U.S. detained by ICE. They were
That's
forcing them to get hysterectomies, which is atrocious.
fuck ICE, by the way.
Fuck
That's the
ICE.
one.
Fuck ICE. Fuck Chet Hanks.
Yeah.
Fuck Riley Reid.
Fuck ICE.
Yeah, that's
But
terrifying.
there's this other thing with kidney, like something with the kidneys with black people. There's like medical documents that shows that black people are somehow different from white people when it comes to this, and it makes black people not be eligible for, I believe, like kidney transplants before white people.
Oh, interesting.
Have y'all heard about that? And this is
no, I
like
haven't.
a current medical
I haven't.
thing like that they learn about in school or
is-
something. It's not real, but this
Well,
is
but
something that they learn
this is
about.
also a tricky thing because there are certain factors that come from the environmental factors that make black people who they are, like the most recent people from Africa that change certain biological things, right? There's like and so I feel like that kind of plays into it because like right now the big thing is that African women from the African continent have a higher pain tolerance than anyone else on the world or in the world, right? And I for years and years and years,
Wait,
there's
what?
always this is like a study that they've done that women on the African continent have a higher pain tolerance, right? For since colonial times, there's always been this sort of subset of science that argues that black people, due to biological factors, are different from the Western world in very specific ways. For example, in pop culture, but also very relevant in Red Dead, I think 2, there's a doctor you can work for, and he talks about how the black skull is smaller, and therefore the brain
is
is
big or something like that.
yeah
I know
exactly.
I've heard
You remember that
before,
guy?
too. Well, I don't remember it from GTA, but I've heard that argument from like
Eugenics.
different, like, yeah, exactly.
And so it's really hard to discern the specific differences between the ethnic races, because obviously black people at a genetic level are different than the Western world because they have a very large amount of melanin, right, that influences the color of their skin. So it's easy to say that there are other biological factors that differ. And so I feel like, yeah, that's a That's a
I mean,
modern
I
thing
think
that's
there is a
used time and time
difference
again.
in certain things.
I don't know how.
I think my whole thing is that yes, there are differences there are biological differences, but I think we've seen in history has proven that it doesn't make, like black people substandard to white people in any way. I think that if a system in place that is in power wants to continue to have their power, they're going to look for any difference that they can to help divide the mass of people that they're trying to organize. This is a much
I think
deeper
of
conversation.
I think even if that was a fact, I feel like it's still completely irresponsible or ridiculous to take that into any type of account when treating any person,
Absolutely.
black or white.
But this is a colonial practice. This is something that's been going on for as long as the existence of people of color have existed in the white people's realm, Going back to the beginning though, I think everyone should get a vaccine.
Agreed.
Just for like the sake of everyone else's health, like I think we all should be safe out here. And if we want to go back to normal, I think this is the best thing we can do.
I agree. But let's get into Loki.
I just finished it.
For real? Like just now?
Yeah, I was watching.
He's been watching it this whole time.
And that shit was weak.
Hell no.
What?
Well, we're about to get into it.
I mean, it's all right.
Wait, we're about to get into it. We're getting into the season finale. My turn. We're getting into the season finale of the Disney Plus Marvel series. Am I lagging?
No.
No.
Yeah, you tweaking. That's what you're doing.
You lagging yourself, man.
The Disney. Hey, God damn.
Hey, get it
My
out.
turn. My turn. The Disney Plus Marvel series Loki, episode 6, the finale.
This is an animated show in the style of Japanese traditional anime.
Word.
My turn. First impressions, Marcus.
Good.
Okay. X. First impressions on this last episode of Loki.
Really good, man.
Yeah, it was. Alex, first impressions.
I wasn't all that impressed.
Alex watched it with the sound off.
I was just about to say, I was watching all our podcasts. So I wasn't like actively watching it, but as far as something in the background, no, I had the sound on.
No, we didn't hear the sound. The mic would have picked that up, man.
No, I turned it down, Marcus. I can control the volume, Marcus.
You didn't have the captions on, though. I guarantee that.
I do. I always have the captions on. I can read. I'm a smart boy.
All right.
I'm a suburban dude.
I'm a suburban dude.
But it was
suburban dude.
I didn't really it was cool.
Okay. All right,
Hey.
Davon. What was your first impressions, Davon?
I like this one better than the last one.
What?
Okay.
Davon, I thought you was real.
Okay.
Eric, what'd you think, man?
Oh, thanks for asking, man.
You're welcome.
I thought the season finale was cool. I love it all comes together in the end. It always does. We find out who's the big bad or the big bad. Is he bad? Is he good? Who fucking knows?
He called himself a villain.
Which is weird because I feel like, and this is something that I hate when it comes to superhero shows or Marvel shows or whatever, the strict dichotomy of good and evil. I hate it. I truly hate it because it's not that simple. Like Kang or the one who remains,
He who remains.
he doesn't seem to be evil nor good. I
Well,
feel like he.
well, he's
My turn.
evil. He's evil in the sense that, I mean, he's done a lot of shit, but he's also responsible for the TVA, who has pruned many a reality trying to keep the multiverse in check.
Okay, but is that evil?
Well, if you think about the original, um, the multiverse before Kang or before He Who Remains, the
Chaos.
multiverse was, it wasn't necessarily chaos. There was only chaos at the specific point where he found that there were multiple universes. But up
I
to
think
that point,
he
they
didn't
existed
get
in harmony
along.
within themselves.
But that was a part of it being a multiverse, so that was going on.
The
The war
multiverse was
wasn't.
always there, I think.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
He
wasn't
didn't
always
create it.
there. It
Yeah,
wasn't
No,
always.
it was. He only
It wasn't.
established
He
contact
said
with
he
the other
discovered it.
multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Wait,
He
what?
said he discovered that there was another like universe above his and below his. They were like stacked.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
yeah, so the multiverse is always there.
No, I
Exactly.
know.
It's always been there.
I know that. But then there was chaos. Like there was a war and shit.
yeah,
Because
but
they
okay.
didn't get along.
And
Huh?
because of his findings, essentially the original scientist that he talks about is the reason why everything, because he found himself time and time again, and then they all went to war. If he was taken completely out of the picture, they wouldn't have found the multiverse. But up until that point where multiverses converged, there was harmony. He is sort of the
Harmony.
catalyst for
For the war.
multiversal war. And so he is a villain in the sense
So
that he was trying to do a peacekeeping effort to a multiverse that should have never been tried to contain.
so he's a villain for trying to fix his problem.
Well, you can't fault the multiverse for being a multiverse, but you can fault a lone scientist who took it upon themselves to establish contact with other multiverses. You know what I
I mean,
mean?
he started the war.
Well,
Yeah.
so
Essentially, he
so-
did start
but
the
that's
war.
that's just like discovery. Like, are you saying that we should just stop learning at a certain point? We should just stop at.
Were the Native Americans evil before Cortez got here, and that justifies him eradicating their cultures?
What? No, the person
it's
who
the same
eradicated the
thing.
cultures was evil, I guess.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think
Cortez is
I
the
don't think
one
that's a
that
good
found it from
comparison.
the Western world. It is, because if he was a pioneer who decided to embark on this discovery mission, right? And then he deemed it necessary to help bring them into a Western context by destroying their culture in the same way that TVA will prune out entire cultures and multiverses of people. The multiverses of people aren't at fault. Cortez is, because he is the one that decided that he needed to embark on these missions to expand the Spanish empire. You feel me? So
Okay,
think of the
so
the
your
original
thinking is wait, my turn.
Go ahead.
Your thinking is um your thinking is
Go ahead.
the individual over the not using this Cortez example, but the individual over the greater good. If there is a greater good. Like for instance, like Thanos, how he what?
Go ahead.
No what? I was gonna say like for instance, Thanos, how he's saying he's going to save the universe by deleting half of it. But because he's deleting people in order to, keep the, universe sustained, that makes him evil, right?
The universe that Thanos tried to the universe that Thanos did take half of the life away had been existing at full capacity, Thanos just decided not to let it get larger than it was. The universe was fine, and that's why they undid it in the end, because ultimately Thanos was wrong enough for the Avengers to be like, we're gonna undo this. Are you saying that you agree with Thanos?
No, I'm just using his as an example to understand what you're saying. So you're saying like maybe further down the line of the universe, when it is expanded and overpopulated, then would it be okay to delete half of it to keep it sustainable?
No, because that's also eugenics, is the idea that you can prune out.
What if it's random?
It doesn't matter. You're still taking life away. If it's random, so you are. I just want to know where you're establishing yourself in on Thanos' side, right?
Actually, I'm in the middle right now. I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
You're playing devil's advocate?
No. I'm using the Thanos example to understand what you're saying. Because
Thanos
at
was
first I
wrong.
was like, I
Just
don't
like
think he's
Kang
a
is
villain
wrong.
or a good person.
Well, Kang also, you could say, he took away free will from people.
He also took away entire realities.
He did. You're right. He did take away free will.
He took away the Marvel niggaverse with Black Thor or Black Loki.
So is that not a villain?
He even calls himself a villain.
I would say he called himself a villain.
Yeah. The TVA isn't a force for good. Sure,
well,
they
then
might
why
have tried.
I guess this makes things worse for me, because why would he call himself a villain? That literally negates his entire thing. That literally negates everything that he's doing.
No,
if he's calling himself a villain, that means he knows that he's doing a bad thing, but he's making it out as if he's doing something for the greater good.
Because that's what he thinks. He thinks he's doing a bad thing for the greater good. He says he has done this bad thing in order to save the multiverse from the multitudes of him. His main goal is literally to prevent King the Conqueror and all of his other evil incarnations from wreaking havoc on the multiverse more than anything else. Because if he just wanted to end a multiversal war, you would just end the multiversal war. He ended the multiverse entirely.
Let me minimize this idea. If you do a bad thing for a good purpose, are you a bad person?
How many lives do you save opposed to how many lives do you take?
That matters.
Ultimately,
the number of lives matter.
Why wouldn't it? It's the trolley conundrum. It's the trolley conundrum, right? So you either,
but that's my point. It's a conundrum.
You either save one life or you save four. So what would you rather take?
So saving the more lives makes you good.
Well, Kang literally has taken the route of saving one life as opposed to four, because he has one universe as opposed to the multiverse.
Okay, so it seems like like in the trolley conundrum thing, it's like, so it's just the amount of people you save, but do the people, I feel like we're getting so far into this idea right now that we haven't talked about the episode at all.
He already called himself a villain. God damn. We don't need to
all right.
further emphasize that.
Okay.
Just because you side with Thanos and this He Who Should Remain doesn't mean that the
I
rest of the world
with
does.
either of them. I literally never said I sided with either of them.
That's where you're leaning, just like you were leaning right earlier. We know where you stand, Eric.
You said Thanos did nothing wrong.
I didn't say that.
He said, I agree with Thanos.
I'll say you sub to Thanos did anything wrong.
Oh my God, the subreddit.
Already.
Eric, you a Thanos simp.
I'm not.
Oh
It's
my
okay, man.
god.
I think it's more complicated
It's not.
than I can wrap my mind.
don't think
it is.
I
I don't
think
think
it's
it
really
is at all.
complicated. I think
It's not. It's Marvel.
why not?
It's
Okay.
Marvel. Marvel's cut and dry. They're a Disney property. They're not trying to make kids question whether or not they should either kill one or a million. It's literally Disney. We don't need to look too far into it. The episode starts out. They arrive to He Who Remains' manor, carved out of an asteroid. Beautiful. Miss Minutes shows that she knows way more than we think she did. And she's kind of like He Who Remains' sidekick in a sense, because she calls He Who Remains, He Who Remains.
I like her voice.
You know who that
speaking
is?
of Miss Minutes.
Miss
Yeah,
Minutes.
I was
No,
about to
don't
say,
know who it is.
You've heard her for
you can't
your
place her voice
entire
anywhere.
life.
You have. Yeah.
You have. Yeah. She's legendary.
I don't know.
Is it Monique?
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
No,
What the
it's-
fuck?
It's Tara Strong.
It's Timmy Turner.
Tara Strong's been in everything. Fairly Odd Parents,
Yeah,
Teen Titans,
Timmy Turner.
everything. She's
Raven.
Hmm.
Raven
Damn.
from Teen Titans.
That's so Raven.
Bubbles.
Damn. She
Yeah, she
a
plays
legend.
shit ton of people. She's
literally she's been in
the
everything.
White Cree Summers.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, she probably knows Cree. They're probably homies because
Yeah,
they're
I'm
all
sure they're
in
homies.
everything.
They played in a lot of shows together. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Also, more importantly, my man's Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's my
Shouts
dude.
the fuck out.
Man,
Let
Bring back Lovecraft Country.
Lenny!
Let
I
it.
love his whole dialogue thing on this part too. That shit was tight.
Bro, this
His
is just
acting.
this is just his episode. Like,
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh my god.
He
I
can
can't
act his ass off.
I can't wait to see him really evil. I can't wait to see the evil version of him. That's what I want to see. That's
what's so funny about this episode is because, for one, we knew that Kang had been cast as Jonathan Majors. For two, the Jonathan Majors we got in this, it wasn't even Kang. It was He Who Remains. So he had the artistic space to kind of do whatever he wants because this character dies. We're literally introduced and then say goodbye to this iteration of Kang. And we know Kang the Conqueror is like the next big Marvel baddie. So this one is just like, this man's just Willy Wonka. This is like Oz the Great. You know, you pull back the curtain and you get this goofy dude in a purple cape who is like, yo, you know, I'm just chilling, but it's boring. You kill me, you'll get all my variants and, you know, the choice is made. But that's what's kind of like, there hasn't been a villain like this on screen before, where we know that this iteration of a villain is going to evolve into so many other pieces, and especially King the Conqueror, who is probably the main variant that he's trying to suppress. And that's what's the coolest, because he's like goofy, but at the same time, you know that in his passing, it just means chaos. And Jonathan Majors kills it, you know?
He does.
So is
Every
that the
time.
only TVA then?
What?
I said, is that the only TVA then? Since if that one dies, then all hell breaks loose. There's no other.
I don't know.
I think the TVA is outside of the multiverse.
Loki's returned to a different TVA.
Yeah, he gets returned to a
Oh,
different
you're
TVA
right.
because
You're right as fuck.
Yeah.
they don't
You're
know
right.
who he is.
Yeah. And in that TVA, they have instead of the statue of the timekeepers,
It's the
they
statue
have
of Kang.
Well, but that one is probably not Kang. In the comics, there's so Kang is a villain, but there's also a villain named Immortus, and Immortus at one point
Oh,
in the
yeah.
comics takes over the TVA, and so he's probably looking at a statue of Immortus, not Kang. But I mean, who's to say? But
What
yeah, I mean,
makes
it
you
just
think
fucks
he
everything
went
up.
to a different TVA though? It
I don't
just
know
could have
why
been the same TVA. He just could have went forward in time, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, but if he went forward in time, Mobius would have remembered him. That's why I think he went to a different TVA, just because Mobius didn't remember him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely went to a different TVA.
Or maybe it was like a Back to the Future thing. I don't fucking know the rules they have for time travel on this.
Yeah.
So I was
It's-
thinking maybe because they killed him or something and then went back to regular time or whatever time TVA is on, and it just changed everything. And I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't fucking know.
Well, and so honestly, if you're like looking super close at Marvel continuity, if he went to a different TVA, then we don't know if the multiverse exists in the same way that the space-time continuum exists, because up to this point we've thought that the TVA has existed in the quantum realm, so it's outside of time, but we don't know if it's outside of space. So if Loki went back in time, it would make sense that the TVA wouldn't recognize him, but we don't know how it works. So like Loki is in a place where they don't recognize him, which means if it was outside of time and space, they would. I don't know. This is confusing. I don't want to continue talking.
That's kind of like paradoxical in itself, because
Exactly.
how can you go back in time in the TVA? That doesn't make sense. That
True.
would
I don't know.
that would mean that the TVA exists in time. I think it may have been
Right.
a different version of it. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
that's what
that it has
happened.
to
I
be a
don't think he
different
went.
version of it now.
Then
Yeah.
Like
why
a
I don't think he went
TVA.
back in time. He went to a different version of it.
then why if one Kang die, the TVA or multiverse just goes to shit?
Because
All it takes
Because
is one
if you
to
look on the
die.
thing, all those
that's a good
branches,
question.
all those branches, I think he went to a different version on one of those branches.
So it didn't exist until the branches started to
Yeah.
happen.
Well, you're thinking
Pretty
of
much.
time. Yeah. If you think about how being outside of it works, it's all happening at the same time. Like, so
At the same
it
time.
all exists immediately. As soon as that like barrier breaks of, the multiverse being held together into one, all of them exist at once, like immediately. There's no like time in between it. They don't have to happen because they just happen, which I think is weird that there was an end, or the end of time, like the void or whatever. I thought that was kind of weird because I don't it didn't make sense to me. And I know that not everything is going to make sense when dealing with time, because it gets paradoxical real fucking fast. Uh, but yeah, that's how I imagined it. Like, yeah, that's a whole universe happening in a second. Also, I'm sure y'all have seen it. Did y'all any of y'all watch WandaVision?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So, I was watching this thing. It was saying that the very last episode of WandaVision syncs up with the very last episode of Loki,
Mhm.
and that moment
When
where
she
Kang
heard
is like,
she-
yeah, when she like accepts that she's like the Scarlet
The
Witch,
Scarlet Witch.
is the same moment that Kang is like,
He drops
this is
it and
it.
he was like,
this
I was lying.
Yeah.
I don't know
Mhm.
what's about to happen.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, those happened at the same time, and it seems like it makes it seem like Scarlet is the one who actually triggered the multiverse, and it makes me think, okay, was Kang holding it together so Scarlet doesn't? This is making I'm not even gonna think about it. Never mind.
Well,
Well,
I
I
can't
know
wrap
what
my
you
mind
mean.
around it.
I believe that theory too, but I think it just happened at a different time. I feel like it
But
happened
that doesn't make
when,
sense.
when she heard her kids. I feel like she heard her kids in a different universe when she was meditating and
Right.
shit, reading the book. I think that's when the splits happen, or whatever you want to call it.
But that's
Well,
what doesn't make sense to me.
they released the Marvel cinematic timeline after the end of Loki. And it turns out that the Loki show takes place between Avengers Endgame and WandaVision. And so I don't think, I mean, I get that those like sync up, and I don't know if that was like on purpose or on accident, but we know that Loki takes place before WandaVision. Not that it even matters in terms of time traveling and also being outside of the space-time continuum. Because we know that WandaVision has weird connections to the Marvel multiverse, right? So like Wanda resurrects her brother, but her brother Quicksilver is not the right Quicksilver. It's the
That was
Quicksilver.
Agatha.
Yeah. Well,
But that didn't make any sense either.
It
because
didn't make any
that
sense.
also wasn't Quicksilver in like that also wasn't the X-Men Quicksilver.
Right. But
Agatha
It could
brought
have
back
been.
her brother though.
it could have been because it's played by the same actor. So maybe we'll find out that Wanda was just using her brother's sort of mind from the Fox version of the X-Men and placed it in the closest receptacle that matched her brother. We don't really know at this point, but we know that Wanda, and like I said, I think on the second episode of the Loki, I said that Wanda she's like a Nexus level, a Nexus being where she can influence the space-time continuum and also the multiverse. So it doesn't necessarily have to make sense because all that has to happen is that she comes into her own power in order to pull from the multiverse, because there's a whole fucking storyline where she makes it so that the mutants are the rulers of the earth.
Her turning to Phoenix is a Nexus event.
Wanda doesn't. I don't think Wanda
Phoenix?
turns into Phoenix.
I mean, not Phoenix. I meant Wanda.
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
It could be. It would
Yeah,
make
that
sense.
was for sure a Nexus event.
It would make sense that like her power reaches through the multiverse, especially not necessarily for her brother per se, but like if she's looking for her kids, she would definitely like go up and down. You know what I mean? Looking for any iteration of her kids to bring into her own reality so that she can have kids again.
That's why I believe Eric's theory that he's seen, because I read that before too. I do think the shows kind of line up when you think about it. And I was saying Kang died in that moment, and on WandaVision, the last episode when she was meditating, looking like Doctor Strange, I think those two things happened at the same time, because her kids didn't exist, and then she heard her kids at the end, heard their voices. So I feel like she maybe heard them through a different universe. Yeah,
and that's possible. I mean, we know that the next Marvel movies are Spider-Man, which
that's about to be dope.
The next Spider-Man movie definitely goes into the multiverse. The next Doctor Strange movie definitely goes into the multiverse. We know the multiverse is a big factor.
It exists now
on everything that we will see. Yeah,
I think now.
I think this is just confirmation. You know.
Yeah. I think now everything is going to somehow reference the multiverse existing.
The multiverse.
Because now it does.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that
Jonathan Majors
Sylvie
killed it though?
My turn. Do y'all think Sylvie should have killed Kang?
Is it still your turn?
She
No,
was
it's
going
your
off
turn
her
now.
free will, or she was using her free will since he didn't know what happened after a certain point. So
Alex, would you have killed him?
Alex didn't even see that.
I did see it, but I didn't really like pay attention to any of the dialogue prior to that. But I probably would, because I just like chaos. I just like,
Oh my
I don't know.
god.
Like, bro, you gotta go.
Oh
And
my
Sylvie could do no wrong in my eyes. So
Bruh, you gotta go. Wow.
yeah. Lucky I'm not Sylvie or Loki. I would have handled shit way different.
Marcus, I assume you think that she should have killed him.
Me?
Yeah.
No, because he already said
Why?
that. Because it's just revenge for revenge's sake. You know,
But
like
she's
I mean,
releasing the multiverse.
yeah,
No more
but like
pruning.
literally, if I was in Sylvie's like shoes, or if I was in Loki's shoes, I would have done more. Like, of course, I want to see a multiverse as a nerd. You know what I mean? Like, yes, bring the multiverse. I want every iteration of everyone. You know what I mean? But
people being pruned is worse than the whole multiverse war.
a multiversal war is gonna be fucking nuts.
That shit would be wild.
You literally did. Wait, what? Marcus, wait, what the fuck? What?
What you mean, man?
Did we not just have this argument where you're saying that the opposite of what you're saying now?
What? Bro, I as a person want to see a multiversal war. I as Sylvie feel vulnerable. I'm a woman.
Oh my god.
I don't. You know?
So you're saying that now, so you're saying it was a bad thing. It was an evil or a bad act that Sylvie killed Kang.
I think King should have died. I think the
And you think
multiverse
that
should
the
have been left
multiverse-
alone.
What do you mean? You think it should have just
I don't
stayed how
think-
it was?
I think the multiverse deserves to exist as the multiverse, man.
Okay, so it was a good thing that she killed him.
I think it was bad that she killed him.
Oh my fucking
Hey man, how long we been doing this?
Oh my god.
Oh damn.
Marcus, you son of a
No.
bitch.
Hey
Um,
man.
Anything y'all got anything else
Look.
about the episode?
Nah, man. I thought it was dope though.
I'm glad the show's over.
Alex, you ain't even seen the last episode.
And I don't need to
Now we
Man,
just
what
gotta
would you
finish
rate
up
it?
RBW.
rate the show overall.
Yeah. This episode. Sorry.
Wait. I was gonna say, aren't we doing averages?
We should be, but we haven't done any averages yet.
You can announce it the next episode.
Okay.
Rate that thing.
What would you get this episode? Alex.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I need to go back and rewatch it. But based
Okay.
off watching it during the pod,
TBA.
watching it during the pod, I was not impressed. So I need to actually sit down and watch it and like listen to the dialogue.
I think
fair.
you'll fuck with it.
Fair.
Jonathan
Truthfully,
Major kills it, man.
I like Jonathan
Truthfully-
Majors and I love Sylvie. I don't know if I told you
Truthfully,
that
after like
before.
episode 3, I binged it.
Really?
Yeah. Once all the episodes is out, I
I'll
binged
definitely
it.
say the second half of the show was better than the first half.
Yeah.
In my
Mhm.
opinion.
I'd agree.
Okay. Marcus, what would you rate this episode? Blair.
I would rate it a 9.5. I think that Jonathan Majors like really killed it. I think he did what he needed to
did.
do as he who should remain. I agree with his plight. Sylvie shouldn't have killed him. I also think that the multiverse should exist. So, I think that it was a good stage for Jonathan
I hate
Majors.
this man.
It's there's nothing like this that's been done in any cinematic history of like where the super villain for the next probably 6 movies at least has been introduced in such a way, because we definitely feel like we have a grasp on like, we know that this is Kang, right? And
You
so
get
this
that feeling.
right, and it sets a precedence. It's like, well, we know that this is Kang. This guy is goofy as fuck. He's on the table monologuing. This will probably be the last monologue that he does. Everything else that we see in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is just going to be about
Stoic.
that action. It's going to be stoic. It's going to be fucking bloodthirsty. And so I think it's a really good jumping off point, more than any of the other Marvel shows, for phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse at this point. So
I think it says a lot about how evil this nigga's going to be. When the person who's seen everything is saying this nigga's evil.
yeah,
Like, y'all ain't seen shit. Thanos, nothing.
yeah.
Loki, nothing. This nigga's on another level, and I can't wait to see him do some gruesome shit. X, what'd you rate this episode? What?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 9. Just like Marcus said, Jonathan Majors really carried it and he killed it. He's a phenomenal actor. Just like you were saying, how he was being so goofy and just his monologues and the way he was carrying the episode. And also the dude who played Loki, he actually did a really phenomenal job as well.
Yeah.
Selling his part as well when he was arguing with Sylvie, saying that, I'm a liar too, and I think he's not lying about this, and how he was ready to just basically put his life on the line for He Who Remains. It was a really good episode. Sylvie, not my favorite character.
What?
I don't know, something about her. I don't know. She
She
me and
wasn't
her, we didn't
shifty
click.
enough.
Did she make you?
Yeah, I
did
don't
she
know.
intimidate you?
Did she what?
I said, did she intimidate you?
No. Just I don't know. Her character and
She's
me,
just
we just didn't really
motivated
resonate.
by revenge.
Appreciate the
Yeah, I
input.
guess that's really it. She is
I respect
motivated by
that.
revenge, and she can't really see the other side to it. She when he asked her to sit down, and think about it, she wouldn't even like give a thought to it. She was just so motivated by
Impulsive.
her revenge. Yeah. So, but yeah, I give it a 9. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show as a whole, though.
Yeah, same.
I agree with you, X. I won't say I didn't like Sylvie, but in that moment, when she's just completely driven by revenge, no logic, just vibes on revenge, I was really irritated with her. She didn't make, it's not like she made like a decision like, oh, we have to set this multiverse free. She didn't even think about it. It really pissed me off, honestly. Davon, what do you think about the episode? What was your rating?
I rated it an 8.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, of course, like y'all said. I fuck with the whole dialogue with all 3 of them, the Lokis and Kang. That was definitely my favorite part.
Yeah.
The nigga's a great actor. I'm ready to see
Yes.
what he'll do once you get the other variants involved on screen.
Yeah.
Also, I'm still also confused about kind of how the fuck they got there through walking through this monster. That's what bothers me the most. Because it doesn't make any sense to me.
Eliath is a portal.
But he met Eliath
Yeah.
and he started to use him as a weapon. When the fuck did he figure out he was a portal?
I mean, I'm sure somewhere along the way.
He's like, hey, by the way, nigga, I'm a portal. Built this house in me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
God
He's got a point.
damn it,
man.
Davon.
That's all I'm worried about. But other than that, I fuck with this episode. I give it an 8. Great ending to a pretty cool show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the ending was crazy.
Yeah, the ending, seeing the multiverse branch out and shit. Nuts.
Yeah.
Eric,
Huh?
what did you think, man? What'd you rate it?
Oh, me?
Hey man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you.
I would definitely rate this episode a 9 as well. This episode really did it for me. I fucked with it hardcore. It was some funny parts, like when Sylvie was trying to stab him, and he kept like
Teleporting
zipping
away.
I thought that was funny. Yeah, I thought that was really funny. Like y'all were saying, his monologue was. I like monologues, long
Me too.
fucking monologues,
Same.
especially with recently introduced characters who are black, because they really
Yeah,
you really
man.
get to see their chops
Mhm.
from a good old fashioned monologue. Like, it wasn't boring. I listened to the whole thing. I didn't feel like I was gonna fall asleep. He was entertaining playing this character who they kind of just made up. Like,
Yeah.
in the comic books, I don't think he's not like this in the comic books. He's not like anything, I don't think.
No, well, there is a character, He Who Remains, but they merged He Who Remains with
Kang.
as a variant of Kang. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be really cool to see how he's going to pretty much be like the opposite of that. He's going to
Yeah.
have, I'm sure that Kang the Conqueror is not the only Kang that they're going to come across. So there's going to be multiple versions of him acting completely different ways. So he's really going to have to exercise those fucking acting chops, and I think he's going to murder it. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, give it a 9 though.
Cool.
And that's the pod.
That's the pod.
Where
Go
can-
watch
One
Lovecraft
more
Country.
question. I
Go
got-
watch.
Yeah, if
Go
you
back
haven't
and watch
seen it, go watch
Lovecraft.
Lovecraft Country.
Amazing
'Cause
show.
That's my shit.
Where can they find you on the internet, Marcus?
Omega Marcussus, man. That's
Mhm.
where you can find me.
Across the board. Across the board.
Yep.
Omega Bazaar.
Yep.
Alex.
You can find me on Twitter at Dark Matter Daddy. Any
Oh my
complaints
God.
and any sort of criticism that
Don't.
you need, please forward it there.
Do not.
And I will gladly respond to you there.
If you got a problem with him not seeing the episode, Dark Matter Daddy on
Yeah,
Twitter.
please.
It's me, Father,
Changing my
on
Twitter name?
Instagram.
Okay,
It's me,
Davon.
Father.
That's not my Instagram name.
Cocaine Shotty.
Davon.
Cocaine Shotty.
Across the board.
SHODY on Twitter. Hit me.
Across the board. Hit
Ladies,
him up.
ladies, specifically,
Ladies.
any concerns, or if you need someone to vent to, or just
Man,
talk
what's
to.
up with you, X? Where
Oh,
can
yeah.
they find you at on the
Oh,
web?
no, don't
Where
cut
can
me
they
off.
find you on the
I'm not done.
Where can they find you on the web, X?
At Williams D Xavier on Twitter. Follow me.
Will of the
Hit me
D.
up.
Yeah.
X, you caught up on One Piece?
You know.
Nigga, that shit got 2 million episodes.
Is
It
anybody
has
caught up,
800
caught up on
episodes.
it?
Nobody caught up on that shit.
I'm caught up.
Taylor is.
I'm caught up.
Bro.
You seen all 2 million?
I'm caught up, and the shit's fired. There's
heard-
only
I heard-
890 episodes, bro.
I heard
Only-
it's nuts. I heard
my
it's
God.
nuts.
It's
XC is
so
probably caught
fucking
up too.
Good, dude.
Yeah.
It's so, oh my God, especially right now, it's so good. Like,
What's
these
happening? Give
episodes
us a
are getting
recap.
dark as fuck.
What's going
Right
on with
now,
Luffy?
they're on this island called Wano. that was, you know, it was ruled. Well, the daimyo was this dude named Odin, who's this like super strong dude who ended up sailing with Whitebeard, and then he sailed with Goldie Roger, and then he came back and he found out that his hometown was taken over by another dude who's evil, and he tries to fight him, but they end up being too strong, and then he finds out that they've been kidnapping people from the capital like consistently to like just murder or do experiments on because he has a grudge. The current daimyo has a grudge against the city. So in order for them to stop kidnapping people, they're like, all right, bro, you have to dance naked in front of the Capitol
Hey,
building
man,
every
I need
week
to wrap it up.
for 5 years. Then they boil them. Spoiler alert.
Oh my god.
Damn.
It's so good. Y'all should watch it.
They still haven't found One Piece.
No.
Are you fucking kidding me? You've been talking for 5 minutes about a nigga that I ain't even heard of.
Nigga, you said catch you up. That's what's happening right now.
I thought they were like on
One
One
Piece.
Piece. I thought Saba was doing something. I thought Dragon was there. I was hoping they were having a big pirate war to end the fucking show. Man.
No.
Hey, man.
Is Luffy even a part of it anymore?
Yeah. Dude, this
Luffy
nigga
dead.
Luffy's strong as fuck, dude.
Luffy on gear 16 now?
I think gear 4. Gear 4, I think.
God damn, man.
I ain't watching that.
The show's hard.
Hey, man.
I'm riding for One Piece. That shit's fucking hard, dude.
Yo, that shit was supposed to end a long time ago, and then he was like, I'm gonna just keep going.
So should I start watching it?
I don't think so.
No, it was. He said that his original idea was that they would end it close to when they entered the Grand Line, and then based on the popularity, he was like, I'll do it for another 16 years.
Alex, if you ever want to watch it, there are movies that cover entire arcs. So you can get to
start from episode 1.
400. Don't do that. I didn't even do that.
Shit.
Well, I did watch like the first 20 episodes.
Hey, if you watch an episode every day, it'll take you like 8 years, nigga.
Jesus
I just
Start
remember
now.
being a kid.
You think I got that kind of
catching
dedication
up
in
on
mine?
One Piece. I literally remember being a kid catching up on One Piece, and now I'm an adult and I had to catch up again. That's just
Berserk is kind of the same way, right? Berserk's been going on for just as long, or if not longer,
not
right?
that long.
Is it not?
Berserk is Berserk is the manga, but they're not as consistently putting out chapters like One Piece. It's
Gotcha.
not even close.
It's over
to
now
being
because
as long.
the creator died.
Yeah, true.
He died.
Are they not going to finish the story or what?
Berserk's dope.
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
Damn,
No.
that's fucking tragic.
Hey, man, I'm about to get out of here.
What you
All right,
about to
man.
get into?
We've been on this shit for like 2 hours.
Catch me at PG the Villain.
We have,
Peace,
actually.
y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the next episode. All right. End it. End it.